Hello and welcome. We are live from the Non-Violent Studio here in London for our first ever live show. I'm your host, Louis J. Today, we're celebrating World Peace Day through the medium of performance, spoken word, dance, and music. The Non-Violence Project Foundation was established in 1993 with the aim of eradicating youth-based violence. Non-Violence Project has had great trajectory from its initial beginnings in the country of Sweden. Since then, having the privilege to work in such countries as Mexico, Brazil, Denmark, Uganda, Japan, India, and the United Kingdom, reaching over 8 million young people. Next, we have a short clip to give you an idea of one of our violence prevention initiatives.
Not long ago, it was the stuff of science fiction. But now, getting a gun is just a click away. Through torrent sites, 3D printed guns are on the rise across the world. No wonder. They're cheap, accessible, and traceable, and near impossible to regulate. Once the blueprints are up on the internet, there's no turning back. So how can you stop a spreading epidemic that won't be affected by laws and regulations? Non-Violence has an idea. We aim to flood the 3D printed gun market with blueprints of our own. Fake torrents containing 3D blueprints of our symbol, the knotted gun, have been uploaded to the most popular torrent sites. They have also been named after the most popular make and model, making it hard for people to find and download the original files. And together, we can make sure that the files are among the highest ranking on the torrent sites. So when people are on the verge of printing a deadly weapon, they will meet a peaceful message instead. Help us solve conflicts peacefully by sharing the Non-Violence torrent and supporting our cause at nonviolencesweden.com.
Amazing work they're doing in Sweden around our symbol, the knotted gun, which, by the way, was created in memory of John Lennon. Today, there are over 30 of these statues worldwide, including outside the United Nations in New York. Now, next up, we have a great performer from East London, known as Nigo True. He's an author, poet, and spoken word artist. Without further ado, enjoy.
I want to ask you what's worse. Pastor that's always lived there with his son but never been there for his son, or a prisoner who's never lived there with his son but always been there for his son. I want to ask you what's worse. A single mother that spends 40 hours a week trying to feed her son but never really gets to see her son, or a single mother that spends 40 hours a week trying to see her son but never really gets to feed her son. I'm trying to ask you what's worse. Because the one thing I've learned is life is all about sacrifice. Sometimes you have to put something beautiful last to make something beautiful last. You have to pick your poison. Would you rather give out alcoholic cocaine or drug addict Hennessy? I'm trying to ask you what's worse. Because there's a dangerous thin line between what's right and what could be justified in your mind. Let me explain. You walk into a jail cell, a murderer might take this hasn't raped anyone. And a rapist might take this hasn't murdered anyone. They know they're both wrong. They're just trying to figure out what's worse. They're trying to get you to pick their poison. Because how do you judge what's right from wrong? Do you base it on your religion as it stands, your moral high ground as a man, or the way you were raised by your family? I'm trying to ask you what's worse. I'll tell you my problem. I always say a prayer the night before court. Never said a prayer the night before I got caught. So I want to ask God what's worse. The man that's only ever said a prayer for the purpose of forgiveness, or a man that never said a prayer but he never did the crime to begin with. The rapper that you say is leading everyone to hell. Versus the fact that you're a believer that rebels. The man that will help his dying mother because he thinks God will, or the man that will help his dying mother because he thinks it's God's will. No, the man that will help himself because he thinks God will, or the man that will help himself because he thinks it's God's will. I'm trying to ask you what's worse. Pick your poison. Is it love or lust? Truth or happiness? Peace or justice? Let me explain. I'm not seeking success or even love yet, but when you lose your friend to some needless dumb kid, you're left with one question. What comes first? Peace or justice? Because when the justice doesn't come, you think it's because the peace hasn't come yet. When the peace doesn't come, you think it's because the justice hasn't come yet. So when you do everything in your power to leave the person responsible either in jail or dead, and you realize it doesn't bring back your friend, you realize you lost peace trying to chase justice, but you do nothing and you lose justice trying to chase peace. I'm trying to ask you what's worse. Ladies, do you make love trying to find it? Girls, you know when you got your ex right, you see with a new girl, she ain't even nice on the eyesight. Your friend rings you up like she ain't even a 5 right, she ain't even got the right 5, she ain't even his type. And your friend tells you he downgraded. Well, basically I'm trying to tell you, if your basis for the fact that he downgraded is the fact that her looks are basic, he's not the one that downgraded, you picked your poison. I let my mum down trying to save her. Raised in a church building by atheists, dad was more concerned with sharing face than he was with sharing faith. I lost my friend young. Police got there too late to save him from the cemetery, so I saw my friend get rushed. I knew I had to jump in. Because if I rang 999, they won't get it to me. So it's ride, or he's getting buried. Fight, or he's in the cemetery. I learned young, there's a difference between what's right and what's necessary. I have to pick my poison. So next time, judge a man's intentions before his actions, his reasons before his mistakes. I'll be the first to tell you I'm a hypocrite. And sometimes I tell lies. I picked mine. What's your poison? Sure. Now you can cut, bro. I hate cuts, bro. 2 more. 2, what? 2 more. Good to go. I see that was production. Well, I remember when I caught my friend posing. She asked me why she don't look like the girl on Vogue, and I told you you'll never look like the girl on the poster. Not because you're not beautiful, because you are. But because the girl on the poster don't even look like the girl on the poster. Drop your chin and raise your chin. We heroes now. You see, we spend so much time talking about how much our parents did 2 jobs to raise their kids that sometimes we forget that eventually we play them. We gotta be the heroes. See, my little bro asked me why ain't it cool to pay the bills and raise the youth. Why isn't society made being a man cool? I told him I don't want to S on my chest. Burn a cape and drop the suit. We men. Take responsibilities, what we're supposed to do. You see, you were never around in the hood, so you're rapping back, giving back to make amends. I sat them down to make them men. You gotta understand, we heroes. See, I could give my little brother 10 grand right now, but he'll probably reoffend trying to make it stretch. I give him nothing but sit him down, and he may never go jail again. Let them rap about moving O's. We moving homes. They run around like they got a point to prove. We run around proving points. See, my little brother looked me in the eye and told me he's willing to risk jail for revenge. I told him I understand, because we did just that in 010. But you got to understand what you just told me. You just said you're willing to leave your mum in the ends to feel better about a situation you're in, because Lord knows we can't bring back your friend. Don't tell me what it's like on the road. Look your little sister in the eye and tell her you ain't coming home. Don't tell me you're willing to die or go jail. Look your mother in the eye and tell her she failed. See, when your family needs saving, but you're tested by a fool, would you risk it all for something to prove? See, I know you've got the heart to fight back. I just want to know if you've got the heart not to. See, I am not saying stop trapping to make do. I am saying there is no Batman to save you. Don't blame this on your father disappearing from your family. Heroes now, step up and take his place. No, step up and be the man. See, I used to sell everything to everyone. In my circuit never once moved to the purpose. Saving to get my mother shoes and purses. If I was in a garden in Eden, I probably would have sold the fruit back to the serpent. Remember me. See, we heroes now. True. Boom. The last one. That's the biggest compliment I could get. But the last one, I'll be honest, I haven't chosen yet, so I'll just figure it out in my head now. Let's go. Off topic. How many likes does it take for you to be beautiful? How many pictures you need to delete before you realise your favourite celeb goes through the same things as you? How many times are you going to re-upload your most liked picture? Just to get likes quicker? How many times are you stepping on those heels just to get 100 filters from my heart? I mean, the face is already concealed. Before you realise they never fell in love with you. They fell in love with your editing skills. See, I'm not here to tell you you're beautiful. I'll let your favourite singer, your friends do that. I just want to know how many people's opinions you need before you believe that. Because what's 100 likes when there's only one person you spend your evening with? What's 50 favourites when your favourite can't get through to you because you're more concerned with what the other 49 think? I'm not here to tell you you're beautiful. I'll let your favourite singer, your friends do that in a generation where everyone's too busy trying not to get hurt to fall in love. I dare you to sign out. I dare you to trust. I dare you to fall in love with the people who have fallen in love with you and ignore the ones who haven't. I could tell you're beautiful. But if that's where your identity is found, what happens on the day that you're down and you've run out of the makeup that enhances your smile, doesn't mean you're less of a queen because you had rust on your crown. See, I remember the day my brother brought a girl home. I looked at her and thought, she's a 4 out of 10 almost. See, I didn't tell my bro because the way his face lit up every time her name was mentioned made me question my perception. Because what's 100 likes to the joy you bring that one person at home? I'm not here to tell you you're beautiful. I'll let your favourite singer and your friends do that. See, I remember when I saw Ed Sheeran play with a broken string or Ronaldo do step-overs with his shoes off. It's then I realised their beauty wasn't in their instrument. It was in their ability to play their role even when they should stop. So when all is said and done and this poem becomes nothing but a memory, at least remember that 100 likes won't set you free. I'm not here to tell you you're beautiful. I'm here to let you know that everyone's got an opinion, but it's only those that find and hold on to you that can set your price. Well, like gold in the ocean, diamonds in the sky, I'm not here to tell you you're beautiful. I'll let your favourite singer and your friends do that. True.
Nigo.
Yes, my guy.
Nigo, listen, that was beautiful.
Appreciate it, man.
My friend, like, what's the journey? Can you just tell us a bit about where you're from and how you... Poet, spoken word. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, yeah.
All yours.
COVID, don't worry, I took the bottom of the mic. But, yeah, I come from Leighton, East London, so obviously I'm Nigo. I've grown up with this name since I was like, I guess, 11. And the journey in itself actually came from, as strange to sound, a lack of talking. So as a kid, I was known to not talk. I got kicked out of my first primary school for not talking. Like, I wouldn't respond to the register, nothing. And then I went through something when I was 17. One of my closest friends was killed. And I didn't know how to, like, I didn't know what I was meant to do, sort of thing. Like, people would say, oh, you're meant to talk to someone. They even offered us a therapist. But I didn't have nothing to say. And then one day I was just sitting in a park and I just started writing. And then we was at his memorial and I said to, just before it was about to close, I said to his mum, do you mind if I just say something? And I said what I'd written down and everyone was like, yo, this is a poem and it's cold. And I was like, thanks, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, am I correct in saying your inspiration for your music has come from your experiences as a teenager and young adult?
Yeah. So majority, people that listen to my projects, my albums and stuff like that, the running theme is like what's happened between the albums. It's kind of like my version of a tweet.
Okay.
So that's how I've built my career. So like my first project was like, I guess everything from birth to like a 21-year-old, and then the next project was, you know, there was 2 or 3 years later, and I'd gone for a breakup, and it was like a breakup album, and then the one that's about to come out in a few months, it still has remnants, some parts of that, but even like how life's changed in a positive way.
Yeah.
I haven't shied away from that in my art. I've showed people the downs and the ups and going through like different things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess my life does. My art represents my life.
Okay, great, amazing. So I might be answering the question myself, but I can only assume for you, music is your piece. Is that correct? And if so, explain, please.
Like, if I'm honest, I want it to be Christ, if I'm honest. But in terms of like what I always go to, like headphones in my ear. I'm that kid, like at a gathering, someone's birthday, and I'm in the corner with my headphones on.
Okay.
And just thinking of ways to put, like, it sounds weird, but I struggle to get things across in conversation. But for some reason, when I write it down, it makes sense.
Wow.
So I even had like I've had a past relationship where the girl's genuinely just told me just write it, because she knows, like, if she tells me the problem, I'm just not gonna say anything.
Wow, I relate. I hear that. So, can I ask, do you have a peace icon? Is there someone you look up to who makes you feel like, wow, that is who I aspire to be like?
Christ, but that'll never fully happen. A peace icon. It's very difficult for me because, like, I probably do, but I'm a very competitive person. I believe in like an aggressive level of peace.
Okay.
Like, I believe in peace, but I'm not against fighting. I'm not against stuff like that. I'm against it being unsolicited.
Okay.
So someone getting jumped or rushed or whatever. If two people decide or whatever, if they compete, I think my closest person, my peace icon, would be. Oh, it's so bad. A lot of my role models are such negative people, man. I'm thinking about it now. I'm thinking about rappers that rap about drugs and stuff. Probably Ronaldinho, you know, and he's in jail right now. That's kind of mad.
Wow.
But probably Ronaldinho, only because, like, I love football. I love art in general, like any expression. And the fact that that art form can bring people together who may not have been around before. And I always, peace is almost like an element of silence, not in terms of volume, but just in terms of like that aggression being dialed down and watching him play. I don't know if you're a football guy.
Yeah.
It's art.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
It will silence you, because it's gonna sound weird. When you're on awe of someone in the room, no one else matters. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird to say, but I'd say probably Ronaldinho. As weird as it sounds.
Great answer. And I must mention the impact that Ronaldinho has with his football ability, and that he's getting to so many young people who's inspired to be great footballers, is also something that you have when you're performing, doing a spoken word. You know, you may not realise, but your words are so powerful, and we see the younger generation rapping, being poets, wanting to perform and inspire. So, you know, you're leaving a good trail behind, which is amazing. So, my last question to you, if you was a king for a day, what would you want to do to bring peace to the world?
I hear that if I was a king for the day.
I mean, you are a king.
There's nothing I could say that doesn't sound like I'm leading a dictatorship, so I'll just say it, because you can't cancel me anyway. I couldn't care less about social media. But I'd get rid of it for like, I'd probably get rid of social media for good.
Good answer.
And what would I do for peace? I'd get it's gonna sound weird, but I'd have what we call like jury service. I'd have that for like all kids, and like a mix up. Like, I'd have it as like a mix up thing, because I think like a lot of people around me had to experience it coming out of jail.
Okay.
And you may not realize it, but it connects people heavy. So that sort of work ethic, like you're actually working towards something, and the person beside you can help you. When you're doing that with an area that you might end up beefing with or whatever, it can ease tensions more than people know. So I do stuff like that, and probably move everyone out the hood. That's about it.
Sure. Nigo, it's been a pleasure to have you today. Thank you for your talent. Thank you for blessing people on the screens and everybody tuned in. But up next, we have a girl from south of England, Tara, who's going to sing her heart away. Enjoy.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us this evening. My name's Tara Flanagan, and I'm going to be performing a few songs for you. Big thank you and big shout out to the Non-Violence Platform and Project. They do amazing work, and it's a real pleasure to be performing tonight. This first song is a song I wrote called Cautious, and I hope you like it. I don't wanna get it twisted, I'm just a little bit confused about the way that I've been feeling, how I've been feeling about you. And oh, I like how we've been talking. I guess that I'm just being cautious, 'cause I don't wanna get myself in the danger zone and have to find my own way home again, like 4 a.m. Oh, I wish I could let my head down and not worry about you sticking around. Maybe then that would be less hurting, but girl, it just ain't worth it. Wish I could be less cautious. No, I don't want you to take it personal. It's just that, babe, I don't trust you at all. And it's because the other guys told me lies, and there's something about your eyes that tell me you might do the same thing. Oh, I wish I could let my head down and not worry about you sticking around. Maybe then that would be less hurting, but girl, it just ain't worth it. Wish I could be less cautious. Wish I could be less cautious. Oh yeah, just a little cautious. Wish I could be less cautious. Yeah, just a little cautious. Oh, I wish I could let my head down and not worry about you sticking around. Maybe then that would be less hurting, 'cause girl, it just ain't worth it. Wish I could be less cautious. Oh, I wish I could lay my head down and not worry about you sticking around. Maybe then that would be less hurting, but girl, it just ain't worth it. Wish I could be less cautious. Thank you so much. It's so fun to be playing live again. Okay, so this next one is another original, and it's called 5 to Midnight. I hope you like it. One sec. Sounds a little nicer. It's 5 to midnight and I'm walking home alone. It's kind of frightening, 'cause I'm thinking about you. I shouldn't do this, it's not healthy. I shouldn't miss you, but I can't help it. Thought I was making progress, I really thought that I was okay. I haven't thought about you for months and I mean it, I promise. But now I'm on my own and I don't have no distractions. At 5 to midnight, I'm wondering if by now you found another. If you're talking to some girl who isn't me. Wondering if you're thinking she's the one, and you're feeling the same things you did with me. I go through my phone notes back to July 2018. I drafted you a message that I guess I never sent. It said you would try to meet up, maybe talk about things, but that never happened, 'cause I was just too stubborn. Thought I was making progress, I really thought that I was okay. I haven't thought about you for months and I mean it, I promise. But now I'm on my own and I midnight. I'm wondering if by now you found another. If you're talking to some girl who isn't me. Oh, and I'm wondering if you're thinking she's the one. And you're feeling the same things you did with me. Oh, I bet you got another one to tell everything to. Someone singing songs like I used to. I came to terms with you and me, but now I'm alone. All I can see are your arms wrapped around another. I didn't want you, but now I'm wondering, oh, how my thoughts run wild. I'm wondering if by now you found another. Talking to some girl who isn't me. Oh, and I'm wondering if you're thinking she's the one. And you're feeling the same things you did with me. It's 5 to midnight. My thoughts are running wild. At 5 to midnight. You know what, it's been so long since playing live, it's so weird to like have an actual round of applause. So thanks guys in the room and for those listening at home. Okay, so the next song I'm going to do is one of my like actual all-time favourite songs, and this is also going to be my last song. And you know, it's all about like sort of world peace and being a good person, and despite everything crazy going on in the world, trying to be like the best you can be. And it's World Peace Day, so I thought it was quite fitting. So this is Where's the Love? People killing, people dying, children hurt, you hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? And would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above. People got me questioning, where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mamas. Think the whole world's addicted to the drama. Only trying to buy the things that bring the drama. Overseas, yeah, we're trying to stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA, the Bloods and the Crips and the KKK. But if you only leave space for your own race, then you only leave space to discriminate, and to discriminate only generates hate. And when you hate, then you're bound to get irate. Madness is what you demonstrate, and exactly how anger works and operates. Man, you gotta have love, this will set it straight. Take control of your mind and meditate, let your soul gravitate to the love. People killing, people dying, children hurt, you hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? And would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above. These people got me questioning, where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? The love, the love. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? The love, the love. Thank you so much.
Tara, take a seat. Come here. You want to fit into the camera, right? That was beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so
That
much.
was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on board.
No, thank you for having me. This is such a great project and platform, and I'm glad that I can be a part of it. So thank you.
Amazing. So can you just tell us a bit of your background and where you're from?
Yeah, sure. So I'm born and raised from the South Coast in Poole, and I moved to London last year.
Okay.
And I'm also half Filipino and half Irish.
Wow.
Very proud of both. So,
That's
yeah.
amazing. That's beautiful. And what's the inspiration behind your music?
Sort of just complete expression. The inspiration is really anything that I'm experiencing in life, or anything that I'm, witnessing friends or family experiencing in life. I really like incorporating like real life emotion into my songs,
Okay.
and then expressing it through the music. So, yeah.
So if you had to give me one word, what does music do for you?
Love. No, I just thought of the first thing that popped into my head, so that was the first word. So I just ran
That's cool.
with
It works. It works.
Might
It
have been
works.
just because I just sang "Where Is the Love."
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say love or release, like just a release of any sort of emotion.
Okay. And with today being World Peace Day, who is your peace icon?
In all honesty, I say Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the ultimate. He's like stood so strongly for what he believed in. He did so much for others, and he was a complete advocate for peace. And yeah, I aspire to be more like him.
Beautiful. And last question: if you was the Queen of England for one day, what would you do to bring about peace?
What would I do? Okay, in an ideal world, if I was the Queen, I would just put a whole halt on any sort of violence. And
That is enough for me.
that's enough.
You
yeah.
end violence.
Play like incredible music and just have a nice, happy, peaceful day.
Beautiful. Thank you. Such amazing creativity here on display this evening. Now, we recently completed a program that gave young people, young women, a voice through creative production of a podcast they called Taboo Talks. Here is an insight to what they've got up to. There will be an insight to what we got up to, but before the insight, I need to ask you a few more questions. So, you moved to London. What was the reason for moving to London?
To pursue music, I've always been so passionate about music and the arts and anything creative really, and I thought I was, travelling up quite regularly to do projects up here, and it felt like the most natural step just to make the move, throw myself in the deep end and be immersed where there's the most opportunity going on. And I've loved it, yeah, I've loved it so far, and I think I'll be around here for a while.
Beautiful. And do you believe that through your music you can spread peace?
I'd like to hope so, yeah. Like, if my music, touches just a few people and brings them some sort of peace or some sort of content, then yeah, that's like amazing for me and amazing, well, hopefully amazing for them as well. So yeah, I'd like to aim for that.
So what music artists inspire you?
So many. I really love like the old school, powerhouses like Whitney Houston, and growing up I was a massive pop fanatic and I loved like Spice Girls and S Club 7, and then now I really like singer-songwriters like John Mayer, and I love Frank Ocean, and I like taking inspiration from different genres and sort of mashing them together.
And I think we got a perfect example of that today, so thank you. But now we have the video.
Okay, stand by. We are at speed in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Talia. I'm the director of an organisation called Youth Realities, and Youth Realities is a youth-led organisation based in Barnet that addresses teenage relationship abuse through creative education and support for young survivors.
Yeah, and I'm a visionary.
My name is Kira, I'm 15. I like to do a lot of sports like dance, athletics.
I'm a bit of a workaholic. I like work. I like learning stuff.
We've been running for about 3.5 years, and we work more with young women around creative education that empowers young women to understand and make informed choices to do with healthy relationships. We do that in primary, secondary schools and local communities. We also deliver a range of programs such as this creative podcast program in partnership with Nonviolence, and other programs such as dance, and using creative tools to help young women and young people learn about themselves, build their confidence, build resilience, build more development skills that they can then implement into other aspects of their lives.
And we spoke about social standards, so like trends and how beauty trends are always changing and fashion trends are always changing, and how we're expected to wear certain things.
Our work is really focused on trying to reduce abuse, but also change the cultures and systems that enable abuse to happen in the first place, as well as the responses to abuse, which is why we provide trauma-informed and targeted support for young survivors throughout our local community, which is inclusive of advocacy and helping to provide a voice to those who don't have one.
We want to combine experiences so we can relate on how school just finished abruptly. To talk about our experiences and how that affected us, and also she could talk about how it affected her in her studies, learning from her as well.
So I first met Clem about 2 years ago. We were panellists together speaking about building peace, and we sat with some other really fantastic panellists, and then we continued communication, and Clem had always said he wanted to provide some work for the young women we support, and then more recently we were on a podcast together that Nonviolence ran for their podcast series, and then the idea came to deliver a podcast, to use the Studio 8 space, the Hustle Time space, to make a creative and inclusive youth-led programme for young women. And the idea was to provide a platform to amplify their voices as young survivors, to build something that they own, that belongs to them, and also give them the skills and training through Nonviolence and the creative team that they have here to help the young women use those skills in other areas of their lives.
Especially if Sophie's talking, because then the camera's on you.
So we decided to create a podcast, and I wanted it to be completely led by the group, and we had a really fantastic group, completely diverse in terms of age and experience. Our youngest was 13 and our eldest was 24, and the girls had a whole range of experiences. A couple of them knew each other, the others didn't, so they really did come together as a group of strangers in a really difficult time, obviously throughout lockdown, post-lockdown, and built something fantastic.
Okay, so we'll pick up on a why, and I'll go across to you for a question.
So we're really excited to see it come together, and Nonviolence have been absolutely incredible in terms of helping with the production, helping teach the girls the skills, using their space, and it was really great to work in partnership with them. So we started with a planning stage. What do they want to talk about? What message do they want to get out? And we asked them to try and focus on addressing issues that impact young women and young survivors. So they designed the topics themselves, they did a brainstorm, they spoke about their experiences, they bonded, they shared, and they came together as a really empowered group of young women, which was fantastic. And then throughout the weeks, they filmed, they took turns in filming, in speaking, in editing, and then on the final day we had a nice close as we had a group called Envision come and deliver a vision board workshop, and each gave the group members a pack to take away and create at home themselves, which was a really positive way of looking forward as we'd been speaking about past experiences.
It's like a deeper meaning, like a connected to your intuition of your reason.
So we really hope the girls got a really kind of empowering experience out of it, and I keep using the word empowering because I was empowered to see them together, to learn from them, and they've really inspired me as much as I hope this program has inspired them to use their voices.
So I'm wondering if the meditation, the guided one, would help.
To remind them that their voices are so powerful and they can change so much in the world in so many little ways and larger ways just by using their voice and talking up and speaking up against things that harm people and hurt people. And I hope that's something that they were able to take away. We saw the confidence of a lot of the girls blossom over the few days that they were together, and it was a really beautiful experience. We're really impressed and proud of them, and we're really excited to launch the podcast formally on the 19th to the group and their friends and family, and then online for the Monday after, the 21st of September. It will be across Spotify, YouTube and other social media outlets of both Youth Realities and Nonviolence. So we're really excited to have that come into fruition and give the girls their rewards that they so much deserve, as well as have some other survivors perform and kind of build a strong communal bond before we kind of walk away. from this project. So to keep up to date with our other work and opportunities, then follow us on social media at Youth Realities. That's across Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. You can also check out our website, youthrealities.co.uk, for any upcoming opportunities, and we often have volunteer opportunities.
15.
And we will be hiring some more staff soon.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video, the short clip of some of the work that we do as an organisation. But next, we have the talented Natonga Mwanza to perform spoken word and dance for you. Enjoy.
Searching every corner of my mind, looking for the answers I can't find. I have my reasons and life has its lessons. I try to be grateful and count all my blessings, but heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Take it in, don't rush, just take him in. I know it might look fine on the outside, but I'm still a mess when you gaze within. I told God I'm a play to win. He said, son, you ain't got it cause I raised the king. And that move reversed the game. Still I feel like I'm failing him. Like a drought when the rain is slim. I couldn't tell you how long this wait has been. Trying to make the music work, probably scrap more songs than your brain could think. And if you ain't noticed, I ain't really got a lot else going on for me right now. Putting my soul in all that I own in the vision, man, I know what the grind about. Man, I feel like I'm on the verge, taking risk and betting on my words. Gambling, my rambling, no panicking. I rose up from the depths of earth. They don't know what I've been through, don't know what I've been through. No money, no plan, don't know what I'm gonna do. But I don't wanna bend the rules, and I can hear you saying, son, just build your ark. Please don't overcomplicate it, have no fear of sharks, no. One day you will have finally made it, just keep going hard, your legacy is in the making, so don't let your heart go. No, don't let your heart go cold. The rain is pouring down on me. I'ma build my ark and let them see. Sing this song, this melody. The rain is pouring, 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 rain is pouring. When the rain is pouring, when the rain is pouring down on me, build my ark and let them see. Sing this song, this melody. When the rain is pouring, 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 rain is pouring. When the rain is pouring.
My young black king, speak life into you. From the fountain of my soul, made from old before the foundations of earth was formed, please take hold of these words I speak to you. You are more than what is seen of you. You are more than what you see of yourself. You are more than what they think of you. There is no reason why you should ever doubt yourself. Who God bless, no man can curse. I pray that you fulfill your potential and purpose before your body reaches the hearse. And every verse and blessing spoken into your life shall never be reversed. You're more than capable. And every gift is irrevocable. Your gift will bring you amongst great kings. Please believe me when I say that anything is possible. You will achieve whatever you set your mind to. You've got me. And I believe you. I made your mind new. And I filled it with clarity. Stay in tune with the spirit, meditate, and don't forget to breathe. You're not a slave to fear. So walk in your freedom. Walk in your tranquility. Wisdom lives in you. You are a walking manifestation of greatness. Don't let anybody tell you any different. May these words breathe life into you. May they sing sweet melodies into you. May they comfort you in the daytime and lead you in the nighttime. May these words keep you. And may these words keep those toxic thoughts at bay. May these words nullify your past mistakes from your previous state. May these words marinate into your brain. May these words bless you. P.S. Don't forget to breathe.
Young black king, don't die on me. You my brother, you my keeper, I need you to keep an eye on me. And no more fighting on the streets, walking around with all this pride on me. Tough from us already, know that you can still rely on me. Please, just stay alive for me. My young black queens, don't quit now. You're the only ones I got us, I can never let my sister down. You've been too strong for too long, yet still you never sit down. Wow, that's a count on you loving and that's where we the king's crown. And still you never let your kings down. Even though more time we don't deserve it. The picture isn't pretty but it's perfect. Tedious questions so then I curve it. Serena or Venus the way I serve it. I learn to be black in the way I sell books. I jump in the stage and then the world looks. With that banging on my door and my door shook. Now sorry officer, I only sell hooks. Leave me alone. Every little man I took held it close to home. Living and learning, always hate me for my tone. For the shade of my skin and the courage in my bones. Now I'm misunderstood and I'm feeling like Nina Simone. The way I hold the world, I thought that I was Sims. See her on stage, I know that woman can be kings. I know that they're all looking what we bring them. They're all good, but she's the little things. Black queen, you're a immaculate. It's coming out the world, me, I'm ready for your antidote. And that was never your fault, man, I just didn't have it yet. World domination, and you ain't even taking it for granted yet. So effortlessly fabulous.
I'm just trying to catch my breath, and I didn't perform.
Thank you.
Right there. Is that it?
It is. Nearly there.
No, Tonga, talk to me. Like, well, who are you first of all?
Hi, so my name is Tonga. I'm a dancer, actor, and apparently a spoken word artist. I haven't been doing that for long, but taking it serious now, so trying to catch my breath too, boy. But yeah, that's me.
Wow. I mean, I've seen Notonga perform a few times, and every time I've been in awe. It's so captivating. I love your talent, bro. You're amazing. Today is obviously World Peace Day, so that's why we brought you on board, because I believe your talent and what you produce just speaks volumes of peace. Like me watching it, I'm just... So my question to you is, what does it do for you, and why do you do the music? Why do you do dance and spoken word?
The reason why I do it is because I believe that we all have a gift, and we're blessed with a gift, and
our gift is service to others. So I always like to, share stories and tell stories and help others. So, we've all been through stuff, you know what I mean? And your story can actually be your glory. Your story can actually help others and uplift others. So that's the reason why I do what I do.
Okay. And say maybe you're stressed or frustrated and you just want to relax and feel peaceful, what would you turn to?
Personally, what I'll turn to, and that's me personally, I pray, meditate. That's a form of praying is a form of meditation. I pray to God. I've never liked that before, but my faith in God has kept me at peace and has kept me moving. It's kept me, especially in the time that we're in right now. This is a very unprecedented time. You know what I mean? Everyone's lonely. Everyone's going through stuff. You know what I mean? So my faith has just kept me so grounded. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Amazing. And leading on, who's your peace icon?
My peace icon or just icon? Because it depends.
Oh, well, go on, hit us with both.
So, my icon or the people that I look up to are Shia LaBeouf, Denzel Washington, and who else? Robert Downey Jr. Reason why, or mainly Shia LaBeouf and Robert Downey Jr., they have gone through stuff way before, you know what I mean? They've made mistakes, but they were able to turn it around, and they clearly have a gift as well. They were able to turn it around and look where they are now, especially with Robert Downey Jr. He's someone I've looked up to for a long time. My peace icon is Jesus, man. And I ain't afraid to say that, man. You know what I mean? Because
sorry, why would you be afraid, maybe?
Well, I shouldn't be, but in this world that we're living in, not many people like to hear that name. Not but it can be like, ooh, Jesus, that's a bit too deep, whatnot. But, down in the cross, he's the reason why we're living, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's me.
Understandably, and he's also the man who gave you your talents, Ntonga.
Exactly.
Again, that was mind-blowing performance, so thank you. And if you was to be a king for a day, you are a king, you're a young, what was it, young black king, was that your?
Young black king.
But if you was to be king of the country, what would you do to make the world be at peace?
Well, firstly, I'll pray for wisdom just like King Solomon. I'll gather up all the wise people and change the justice system. We've seen so much injustice. We've seen so much the people who are the cause of all of this, who are not given justice, they're comfortable where they are because they're protected by the law. So that's me, that's me personally. So I'll make university free again, bring back all the social clubs, bring back everything that kept the young people moving and alive and no one really cares about young people anymore in a nutshell.
Wow.
So, yeah, if I was king for a day, that's what I'd do.
That's such a beautiful answer, thank you. And last question, will you come back next time?
Of course, definitely. You know what I mean? When's the next time?
Next month, we're doing a day of non-violence. A day of non-violence, that is October 15th, non-violence. So we'll be asking you to come back and perform and to bless people again with your talents.
I already have something for that already, so I'm prepared. So
he's prepared, he's ready. Love it, thank you. And next up, we have a beautiful singer from London. Her name is Jasmine Love, and she's going to bless you with a song. Enjoy.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sweet pillows roll, whatever my God thou hast told me to say, it is well with my soul. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sweet pillows roll, whatever
know with COVID and everything, we need to smile. So I want to sing this special song by Kirk Franklin. Today's a new day, and where is the sunshine? Where is the clouds and just dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night? I say today's a new day. Tell me, where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised to tell me it's alright? So I smile, even though I hurt, see I smile, 'cause I know God is working, so I smile, even though I'm in it for a while. I smile, I smile. It's so hard to look up when you look down. Sure to hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. So smile, I smile. Even though I hurt, see I smile. 'Cause I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I'm in it for a while, I smile. See, I smile. It's so hard to look up when you look down. Sure to hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. So smile, smile. Even when you hurt, see you just smile. 'Cause you know God is working, so just smile. Even though you're in it for a while, just smile. So smile. I know it's so hard to look up when you look down. Sure to hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. So smile. People killing, people dying. Children hurt me when they're crying. If you practice what you preach, you could turn the other cheek. Father, 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 help us. Spare some guidance from above. 'Cause people got me questioning. Where is the love? Where is your love? Where is your love? Where is your love? Your love, your love. People killing, people dying. Children hurt me when they're crying. If we practice what we preach, we could turn the other cheek. Brother, 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 do what you have said to do, and let us share the love instead of hurting one another. And that is the love. You show your love, and I'll show my love, and we can show the love, the love, the love.
Where is the love, the love, the love?
That's good.
Is that nice?
Yes, that's good.
Jasmine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for having me.
So Jasmine, let them know, who are you?
I am Jasmine Love. I do multiple things. I love children, young people. And I'm a church girl. Love the Lord. Amen.
Wow, that's beautiful. And who and what are your inspirations?
As in, so many people do a lot of stuff. So I have many inspirations. Definitely, I had to start number one. I am a church girl, so definitely Jesus is my inspiration. Because I've definitely changed my life. I live in the hood. If y'all know OFB, I live in Tottenham. But I think definitely finding God changed my life. So he's definitely my inspiration. I also like Harriet Tubman. I think that I am the female Harriet Tubman of this generation, even though she was a female. I just love the way she was bold enough to risk her life to help people. And I just really love helping people. So yeah, that's kind of me.
Beautiful. And peace. What does peace mean to you, Jasmine?
Oh, peace
I definitely think is an inner peace that I seek for. I think so many times people seek for peace outside, you know, try and, you know, get your nails done, your hair done, try and get peace within. But, like, I think peace should definitely be having peace with yourself, like, having peace within, and then no matter what situation and circumstance you go through, because life throws a lot at you, but when you have that peace within, you carry it wherever you go. And so I know how it is to go from like having suicidal thoughts and not having peace within to go to having peace. And so I find my peace in Christ, but I know so many people try and do different stuff, but I'll say always seek that peace within, number one.
Within, okay, so if you was to talk to somebody who was maybe struggling and they wanted to gain peace, how would you advise them?
I would say love who you are on the journey to where you're going. So many times we want perfection and to be someone else, and we think those on Instagram, they're better than us. But I would say love who you are, because there's no one like you. So find, you know, that joy within, and even if you think there's nothing that you can do, there's one thing that you can do that is really good, that's better than anyone else. I'll say start to love yourself, take yourself out, and that peace will, you know, it will grow. You know, I think your relationship with yourself is number one. So I say try and have a good relationship with yourself as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. So you seem very confident and bold and assured, which are three great things to have, characteristics. Question is, where does that come from?
Well, other people may think it, but trust me, before I was so nervous. I would say, and y'all might think she's a church girl, she's speaking so much. Listen, y'all, I could get ratchet if you guys want with me. But I get it definitely from the Lord. I definitely get it from going to church and stuff, confidence. Because sometimes within, I doubt myself, like most of us do. But I just pray and I say, God, help me to do what I can't do. That's where I get it from. And also, I think if you have a good team, I have friends as well, who they're also Christians as well, but they will also encourage me with good words and speak, you know, when I'm doubting myself, they will speak that. So I think it's also good to have a good team of people around you, good friends.
Definitely.
Yes.
I agree, I second that. So another question then. I mean, I'm sure we can all guess from the answers she gave. Who is your peace icon?
Do I have to answer that, y'all? You know already. I'll say Jesus. Straight up, Jesus. And I think, yeah, because he gave me that peace within. And I think there's always going to be stuff happening, y'all. We're always going to go through with Corona and so many other things. But when you have that peace within, no matter what comes, man, you remain strong.
So, question. She's going to like this one. I mean, yes, you are a queen and you slay. But if you was queen of England, queen of the world, what would you do to bring about peace?
What would I do? Okay, I would get young children, because I love children. I'm a primary school teacher. I would get young children and children from different backgrounds to actually mix, like to spend time with people from different cultures, to really understand why people do things. Because I think once you understand people, then you don't have prejudice and discrimination. So that's what I would do in order to try and bring the love around.
Wow, wow. And can you tell me, when there's a time where you may feel low and you're not at peace, what strategic things can you advise someone to do to make them feel okay?
I think everything begins in the mind. So it's what are you thinking about? What are you focusing on is number one. Because if you're focusing on negative things, then all that you're going to do is be thinking about negative things all the time. Check your mind and your thought processes and what you're feeding your mind. I would obviously, I'm a Christian, so I'll go back to I read the Bible, I pray, listen to sermons, and I wish I was always good. Sometimes you're like, I want to punch that person, and it's like, oh no, I can't because I just listened to the sermon.
Which is American.
I go in and out, y'all. But I would say definitely check on what you're feeding your mind. That's so important, because whatever you put into you is what's going to come out of you. So you can't be feeding your mind negative things and then expect positive things to come out.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that you're from Tottenham. I mean, I know Tottenham, and Tottenham's very peaceful. Did you have the same experience of Tottenham?
Do you know what? I live in, yes, Tottenham can be peaceful. Then I live in an estate that most of you guys may know, so the Broadwater Farm Estate. And I think Tottenham, it depends. When the football fans are coming, it can be hectic. There's a lot of them, and trust me, it can be hectic. But I think Tottenham is known for a lot, but it can be peaceful. The community stands in unity, you know, stuff with like Mark Duggan, and when they had like the riots, the community really tried to stand up for each other. So even though on the social media, you know, we've seen like, oh, there's fire, and I know y'all all saw the riots and stuff, but I saw a different side of Tottenham. I saw people coming together, like communities coming together to celebrate people that have died from like police brutality and stuff like that. And so I see the solidarity as well.
Beautiful.
So there is an aspect of peace there, and I think it's not really shown on media. But trust me, there is.
And you mentioned something for me, quite special. You said, I see the. And to me, that talks perspective. How much would you say perspective and peace have in common, or do they not?
I definitely think perspective and peace, they relate to one another, because someone can be going through something and, you know, it's just hectic to them. They can't even survive another day with it. But what I would say is, if you have a positive perspective of life and you try to have, once again, your mindset, feeding your mind good things, then whatever happens, you take it at ease and you take it from a positive perspective. And so, once again, it just goes back to the mind. There's a lovely book by Joyce Meyer called The Battlefield of the Mind. Everything starts in the mind, because whatever hits you, if you are able to have a positive perspective before it comes, then it won't get you down. It won't stop you.
Listen, if y'all will have the mindset like Jasmine, you're going to be saints. Jasmine, that's beautiful. And thank you for blessing the stage today. Thank you for coming. I'm sure we'll all see her again. Last and not least, we have... I'm not going to tell you. Just watch and see. Man, see, the thing is with Paul is so humble, which is a great trait, but I'm more saying to him, Paul, like, people need to see your work. You need to express more, because I'm sure you viewers have been touched by that piece of music, which is so beautiful, especially when you know that Paul's only had 2 piano lessons. Anyway, Paul, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, my friend. Thank you for coming along.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
That was beautiful, as always. You know I'm your biggest fan. And do you know what's actually funny? Today is World Peace Day. And hearing you play the piano is the epitome of peace. Like, it can't be more peaceful. Like, seriously, it's beautiful. Just tell us a bit about your background and your journey of being a pianist and whatnot.
So I started playing the piano in the church about 14 years ago. And because you're surrounded by music, that's how you start. So it was suggested that I get lessons, and then I just went from there.
Okay, beautiful. So I heard that, and okay, so from church, being surrounded by music, and you just learn it from there. And what does playing the piano do for you?
It's definitely a release, a way to escape, and a way to express. And it's a form of pleasure, like people go out drinking and doing whatever, or I don't know, things recreational to give them a sense of peace. And my thing is music, just for me to, yeah.
So playing the piano essentially gives you peace?
I would say that, yeah.
Would you say
music does?
Music?
Yeah.
So would you say music's the biggest form that gives you peace, or is there anything else that really settles you?
So before I'm a musician, I'm a Christian, so my faith 100% plays a role. For example, if I am stressed or going through anything, I like to pray, I like to read the Bible, and again, the same way music gives me that escape, my faith does. So those are the 2 things.
Beautiful. To be honest, today it's been a common theme. A lot of people seem to be Christians or have faith, which is a beautiful thing also. The correlation I've seen is people that seem to have faith seem to have peace. Can you elaborate on why that might be the case?
Because, well, I know for me, when you have faith, you believe in someone bigger than you, and you're dependent. You know, so for example, if a child has a parent and they know that parent can provide them with everything, then they'll be reliant. And because they're reliant on that parent, it gives them a sense of peace, because it's like, my dad can take care of this. My dad has the money to pay for this. And because you have faith in that thing, that higher power, it kind of allows you to relax and just depend.
That's such a beautiful analogy. I'm going to have to store that one. So, again, I'm sure I could guess, but I'd like to hear it from your own mouth. Who is your peace icon?
My peace icon, that would be Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, just, I think reading the Bible, and just even through history, in the history books, just that's what he promoted. When you think about Jesus, you think of a peaceful person, promoted love, did miracles, healed the sick, gave to the poor, things like that. So it has to be Jesus.
And yes, you are a King Paul, but if you was King of England, what would you do to make peace happen in the country?
Good question. What would I do? I would try and bring people together. So for example, let's say we all lived in a neighborhood, organize something where all the neighborhoods come together and get to know each other. Because I think one thing that brings peace, I think community does. So for example, if you know someone, you have a friend and maybe they're feeling down, if you go and visit them and maybe they say, oh Louis, I'm going through this, maybe you would have the solution or give them advice that will help them. And by doing that, you help them along the way. You give them a kind of solution. The same way, if you're going through something, then your friend, he's like, here's what you need to do. Then that creates peace. So I think community, because we stay in our own bubbles and do our own things. when there's a whole world out there. Like, most of us don't even know our neighbour's name.
Wow.
So I think it's community. So if I was king for a day, I would make neighbourhoods get together, maybe on a weekly basis, and just get to know each other.
Mhm.
Almost like you know, like mothers, they've got like like newborn mothers.
Mum groups.
Mum groups, exactly, but like a neighbourhood group.
Yeah.
But be all over the UK.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that idea. So, what do you do? What routines or techniques do you have in order to calm yourself and bring peace when you are maybe stressed or not feeling too great?
So, like I said before, I read my Bible, especially if you look at like the book of Psalms. So that's the Old Testament.
Okay.
You look at where is it? Psalm 139. That's a chapter talking about how valuable you are and how special you are as a person and how God sees you. So whenever I doubt myself or think, oh, you know, things aren't going my way, or I worry about something, I have certain verses I read, and they they calm me down. They like put things in perspective for me. So reading the Bible, of course, praying. Again, why do I pray? Because I know there's someone higher than me who has the answers I don't have, and I know there's someone higher than me that has more than I have. So I go to that higher place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, I'm sure it's probably a similar kind of response, but if you're talking to Joe on the street, and Joe's stressed and he's telling you maybe a bit about what he's going through, what advice would you give him?
I'll say, Joe, would you like me to pray for you?
Wow.
So I'll give an example of that. So even in my workplace, for example, sometimes I'll see my colleague crying, or they just don't, you know, when you're close to someone, you know when something's up. So if I'm like, is everything okay? And they say no, then I'll say, you know, they'll explain what they're going through, and I'll say, oh, is it all right if I pray with you? And they're like, okay. So there's that skepticism at first, but when I do, the response is always, I feel so much peace. No pun intended, but that's the response. So I think every day, in our everyday lives, you can do something to impact somebody the same way I can, and we need to do that. So yeah, that's if that answers your question.
It definitely answers the question, and it's a beautiful answer. So my last question for you today, Paul, is if you could give somebody some advice, what would it be?
Advice about what?
If you could give somebody some advice about life, about peace, about being happy, having joy, what would you say?
I think so many times we think ahead, or we worry about things that haven't even happened. So for example, you say, oh, I don't know where I'll be in the next 5 years. Whereas you don't even know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. So I think live every day and make it count. Do what's been placed inside of you. Follow your passions, follow your dream. Don't sit on anything, don't doubt yourself. And yeah, tomorrow's not promised, so make today count. And don't make excuses. You know, whatever you can get done today, don't leave it till tomorrow, because tomorrow will never come, and you don't want to live with regret.
Woo! You got some bars there from Paul. That's beautiful. Again, thank you for coming on board today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And now we're going to go on to a video of the production that we've done in Mexico. Enjoy.
Try and see it my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can't go on? While you see it your way, run the risk of knowing that our love may soon be gone. We could work it out. We can work it out. Think of what you're saying. You get it wrong and still you think that it's alright. Think of what I'm saying. We can work it out and get it straight and say goodnight. We can work it out.
hope you guys enjoyed the evening. I promise this is the first of many. So if you don't mind, please subscribe to our Instagram at noviolence_UK, and there'll be other links and details in the description at the end of the show. Until next time, take care, God bless, and peace out.